Hi, I'm Michelle Begue with a look at what's happening in Latin America now. But first, our news trivia. Which Latin American city displays a trendy new wave of architecture that is largely inspired by superheroes? We'll have the answer later. In Mexico, a tragic accident at a church has left a community devastated. Let's go to my colleague Al Baverstock, who has more details on the accident and rescue operation underway.
Seemingly out of nowhere, a church in northeastern Mexico collapsed during Sunday Mass on top of a population of 100 people, trapping 30 inside. 11 people lost their lives, while a further 23 were hospitalized. Surviving victims used chairs to smash windows and escape from the building, where the roof had fallen in, followed by the walls, and immediately set about clearing the wreckage to save those trapped within. Emergency services followed close behind, and while there has been no cause determined for the structure's collapse, many onlookers say a lack of building maintenance may have contributed, as experts wait for the rubble to be cleared before making their final evaluation.
In Argentina, voters got to see the presidential candidates debate for the first time in the lead-up to the October 22nd elections. The contenders clashed over the economy, as they each gave their opinions on who is to blame for the fiscal crisis and how best to end it. Sergio Massa, the ruling party's candidate, apologized to voters for the economic catastrophe, but tried to distance himself from what he calls mistakes by the government. The libertarian candidate Javier Milei proposed to dollarize the economy with the currency of the United States. He is currently leading the polls. And Ecuador's citizens are also considering the proposals made in the last debate ahead of their October 15th runoff elections. Left-leaning candidate Luisa González and centrist Daniel Noboa expressed how they would manage their unusually short term, exactly 17 months, and handle all the urgent situations in the country. Outgoing President Guillermo Lasso cut his term short amid crisis. Violence continues to surge in the country. 1,000 police and military personnel were deployed at the end of last week to the Guayas province, which is riddled with drug trafficking. Tensions continue to build in Guatemala. Check out the hundreds of Guatemalans who are blocking key roads. They're demanding the resignation of top prosecutors. Why? The uprising comes after their presidential elections. President-elect Bernardo Arévalo says there's an ongoing attempt to derail him from assuming power in January by disqualifying his party. These images are from September 30th, when police from the Guatemala prosecutor's office tried to seize boxes containing tally sheets during the day of the elections. The magistrates of the electoral court scuffled with the police. They said they're no longer the guarantors of any records since officials of the prosecutors confiscated them. Now let's check out what stories we're following for next week. First, take a look at these long lines in Ciudad Juárez at the Mexico-U.S. border. We're following the increased migration checks that are causing this backup to get into the country. According to the northern Chihuahua state, more than $51 million were lost on September 29th alone, as over 70 cargo vehicles were denied entry. One lorry driver says he waited 12 hours online. Second, we're following Luis Inácio Lula da Silva's health status. The Brazilian president is recovering from hip replacement surgery. The operation seems successful, and the 77-year-old is recuperating at home. Government officials said Lula will remain president through his 3-week recovery and will not pass authority to his vice president, although he will not be able to travel for up to 6 weeks. And now the answer to our news trivia. The answer is C. Check out these colorful buildings in Bolivia. The new Andean architecture style, popularly known as Cholet, is said to represent the fusion of the Aymara indigenous and the contemporary present. Invented by Bolivian architect Freddy Mamani Silvestre, superheroes from pop culture are mixed together with symbols of regional cultures descended from the Tiwanaku and Inca empires. In the last decade, this style has caused a craze in cities like La Paz, with more than 30 companies deciding to decorate building facades in this style. And that's it for this week. We'll see you again soon on Latin America Now.